Hey guys, Tony with SeattleBoatDetailing.com. Today's job is the fourth step in removing a name and getting ready for a new name to be put on to a boat. This is the compounding and polishing step. So really it's two steps, but we're just going to call it one. In this first step here, I am using some Meguiar's Diamond Cut to remove the heavy scratching and oxidation that was created during the wet sanding step. Once I'm done with the compound step here, I will finish this off with another pass of polishing using Meguiar's Diamond Cut, just a little bit of that mixed in with some Meguiar's Flagship Premium, which is a polymer-based sealant, and that's how we like to finish off all the boats we do. So it gives a nice shine, gives it some good longevity for holding up and giving it some protection. So as you can see, I've sped up this portion of the video just to get through it a little bit faster. But this portion of the video, when I looked at the time that elapsed, took about 25 minutes, and that's of actual polishing, both the compound step that I'm doing here and the final polish step. So definitely a lot of time goes into this, but this is just sped up so you can kind of see the process in a faster fashion. I'm trying to keep these videos short so you can get the most out of them. Doing these name removals, we don't just do the area where the name has been removed. We do all the way across the entire surface area where the name was. This one happens to be on the stern. A lot of times they'll be on the side of the boat, on the bow as well. So we want to do the entire section, and that way it all blends together and doesn't look like you've just got a clean spot in the middle. So a little bit more than just the surface area where the name was that we tend to do, in case you were wondering. So it's important to always be really careful about stuff that's in your way or around where you're working. In this case, this power cord was in the way, so I wanted to move it before I got up too close to it and wrapped it around my buffer. Oh no, I got it around my buffer. Ended up not paying attention to my own cord. Look at that. So fortunately, I stopped my buffers fast enough and didn't damage my buffer cord. And because it was sped up, you may not have even caught that, but I basically went over an area where my cord was not over my shoulder like it's supposed to be, and my buffer wheel caught that and wrapped up my cord. Fortunately, again, I caught it fast enough, got off the trigger, and that brings up kind of a safety step. These buffers have a locking trigger on them, and typically if you're doing big sections, you will lock that trigger just to not cause fatigue and all that to your finger or hand. Whenever I'm doing these small tight areas, I do not trigger lock it. I've always got my finger right on that trigger in case something gets hit or bumped into. I can immediately let go of that trigger and not cause damage or injury to anything, including myself. So just a little safety tip there. Remember, safety third. And while we're on the subject of safety, that leads me to bring up the next thing. Right here, where I'm buffing, the owner had taken off some hardware, and that really made it nice to not have to deal with. And that's always an issue, right? Anything that's on the surface you're buffing can always catch on your buffer. We did not remove the snaps, which is something you can also do. Just keep in mind, anytime you remove hardware, you always want to make sure to put it back in using some sort of watertight caulking or whatever. And then again, on these letterings that are left on the boat, you always got to be super careful around those too. You don't want to catch those and damage them because they are very easily damaged, especially that little gold-plated emblem down there. Super easy to just take the gold right off that, so be aware of that and be careful of that. There's still some ghosting in there. There was some yellowing caused by the backing on that old vinyl that I did not get all the way out. Having said that, you really have to look for it. And this is probably good light to see it in. If it was a sunny day and the new name's on, I don't think you're going to be able to distinguish that. So hopefully that'll be the case. Sometimes you got to make a choice of go farther and get everything out, but then maybe make the fiberglass thin. And we definitely don't want that, because then it's going to create a new problem, and we don't want to do that. So I went as far as I safely could. I think it's plenty good, especially considering where it was, having 2 old names having not been done that way, and ready for a new name now. So thanks for checking it out.